What is up, YouTube? Welcome back to the channel. And today I want to talk about a topic that has come up quite a bit through conversations with friends. I'm gonna go this way. Through conversations with friends, and I've seen people talking about it on social media. Now, I want to preface this by saying I grew up in the era of the Fox body cars. A Fox body, the 5-liter Mustang, was kind of called the 57 Chevy of the 80s and 90s, meaning that it kind of revitalized high-performance cars and the aftermarket. In my opinion, it definitely did, because the number of aftermarket parts that kind of popped up during that time was directly a result of the 5-liter Mustang. Now, this is also a time when you used to go out to, like, well, in the Northeast, Englishtown was the central part for the majority of racing. You had Fords at E-Town, you had Mustang versus Grand National, and it was just an awesome time to be into cars. And you know, I did have a Fox body. I had my 88 GT for quite some time. Drove it through college after that, and I actually sold it in 2012, and it was a heck of a car. Actually still is. But when I think about what I sold it for in 2012 versus what it's worth now, as I'm making this video here towards the latter part of 2020, oh, how do you not love that sound? You know, the prices have gone kind of through the roof. And what people have been asking about is the new Edge Mustang, the 99 to 04, even, especially the 2-valve. Is that going to appreciate? Is that going to become the next Fox body? And in my opinion, yes, it will be. Let me explain why. Well, the 5-liter cars back in the 80s and 90s, a lot of them were just, you know, beat to crap, raced with an inch of their life, crashed or whatever. And the survivors, the ones that are still around that are in really good shape, are commanding a good amount of money. Not every one of them. I mean, there are some cars, some Fox body cars, where people are asking, in my opinion, stupid amounts of money simply because it's a Fox body. And in my opinion, they're not worth that money. But they can ask whatever they want, right? A car is only worth what people will pay for it. But really clean examples are commanding a good amount of money, whether they're stock or modified. And I would say that the stock cars are actually getting more money than the modified cars. So fast forward to these new Edge cars, these 99 to 2004 2-valves. Okay, so they're making 260 horsepower. Well, you know what? The 5-liter cars are making 225, and when they re-rated the horsepower, I think it was a 92, they dropped it to 205. So stock for stock, these 2-valve cars, these PI 2-valve cars, are faster than the 5-liter cars of yesterday, 87 to 93. But that's not why they're going to go up. I believe that these cars in really good shape are going to command a good amount of money, and I'm actually already seeing the prices go up. Now, we know the Terminators, right? The 03, 04 Terminators, those prices have been pretty steady, considering they sold for $35,000 to $38,000 brand new. They're still getting, for a really nice Terminator, anywhere from $20,000 to $30,000 for a really good example. Mach 1s are now really starting to appreciate, where you would be able to pick up a Mach 1 for, let's say, $7,000 a couple of years ago. I've seen people asking, once again asking, 15 to 20 grand for a really clean Mach 1. Bullets are also going up in value, whether it's a black True Blue or the Highland Green. I think the True Blues are actually getting a decent amount of money based on the rarity of the color. All of these new Edges are kind of appreciating, which brings me to the 2-valve GT. If you can find a 2-valve GT that's in really nice shape with relatively low mileage, that's been taken care of, kind of like this one. I mean, as you know, regular viewers of this channel they know we've owned this car since 2000. It's got 60,000 miles. It'll probably hit 61,000 miles in another year. It's mostly stock. It's got an exhaust on it for now, and it's probably worth a decent amount of money. Now listen, go on any type of Facebook, I just love that sound, sorry. Go on any type of Facebook New Edge Mustang forum, and people are going to say, what's it worth? Oh, I just bought a 2002 GT for $1,700. But I would wager that it is probably beat up and clapped out and kind of looking like, you know, looking like garbage. So you can't compare apples to apples, because clean new edge. I think this is going to be the next appreciating car, especially since people who grew up with these cars kind of like are going to want to reach out to them the same way that the previous generation kind of clamped onto those Fox body Mustangs. So I think it's a great platform overall to build your own personal fun car. I mean, it is the Fox chassis, even though we don't call this a Fox body. It still is a Fox body. It's the Fox chassis. And pretty much everything on this car, or a lot of it, is interchangeable with the Fox body. Unfortunately, the 94 to 98 cars don't get the love that unfortunately, they don't get the love that these cars get. The new edge cars, the 2-valve new edge, especially because of the PI heads and the better engine, the more horsepower, and arguably, in my opinion, better styling, that edgy styling. These tend to get a lot more love than the 94 to 98 cars, whether it's a 5-liter or the 2-valve. So I don't know if those cars necessarily will appreciate. I really don't think they will, aside from some of the special models like the Cobras or the Cobra Rs and things like that, or maybe the Shinodas. And I actually have a video on some of the special SN cars, so I'll put a card right up here in case you want to check that out. Really interesting because there have been a lot of special edition cars. But that's my opinion. I do think that these cars will continue to appreciate in value, and I think it's a good idea to invest in a car like this, even if it's just a 2-valve, because I hear a lot of people throwing those words around. But I think that this is a great car. It's a solid foundation, and I do think it's going to continue to appreciate in value. And it's just a fun car. What a great way to get a V8 rear-wheel drive Mustang that's pure in almost every word as a Ford Mustang muscle car, right? I mean, it's, you know, it could use a little more power. We all know that in 2020, 260 horsepower doesn't go as far as it did in 1999 or 2001. But in any case, feel free to disagree with me. Leave it in the comments below and let me know what you think. Like I said, if you enjoyed this video, we do a lot of the 2-valve cars here, but we're open to just about any type of Mustang. And thank you so much for watching, and I will see you on the next one.